Friday, I smoked this trade. I had an amazing trading day on Friday and roll the clip. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis, and this is the YouTube channel where I am documenting my trading journey. Crazy to even think about that I've been trading for about 10 months now. But yeah, it's officially been 10 months. It's kind of crazy, and it's even crazier that you would think by now I would have the game mastered, but I'm still learning. I'm still a student in my own right. First and foremost, I want to thank you for the amount of support that we've been getting on the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how your trading journey is going and how your trading week went this week. I'm so honored that you even give me the time to watch this full video. First and foremost, I want to thank Ttronics.com for sponsoring this series. And yeah, it was a very interesting week. It was NFP week, so it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to talk about what happened this week. So make sure you stay tuned, especially for Friday, because Friday was an amazing day. I don't want to talk too much before we actually start the full video, so let me hop on the Ttronics.com website, and then after that we'll hop into my Discord. Let's get into it. So as you can see, we are on the Ttronics.com website. This is the sponsor of the series. Make sure you go and check them out and use my discount code LVFLIP. As you can see, you can head in here and see all their powerful PCs and their great deals. Make sure you take advantage of their free shipping and their 1-year warranty. There's a bunch of variation in terms of price ranges and power, which is one of the most important depending on what it is you're doing. But if you head into their perfect trading setup right here, you get to see everything that they've added for this series. And since I've started working with them earlier this year, and the newer setups are the Futures setup LV Flip and the Strikers Futures RX. I think that the variety in here is amazing in terms of price range, because a couple people have been asking me about what they should get for a trading setup or for a setup to create content and stuff like that. So I think that honestly, if you want to invest, I don't think you should invest way more than this. This is a perfect price range, and obviously there's a variety and you could choose whatever you want, but honestly I think this is a perfect price range for not only trading but also streaming, content creation, video editing, photo editing, everything like that. So make sure you take advantage of that and go and check them out. It shows you everything that's included in this setup, and you even have pictures of the actual setup itself. They are very helpful, and if you hit the contact them, you are able to be quoted on every piece that you want to add into your setup if this isn't powerful enough, or if you want to make it a bit more in your price range. But that's basically all I have to say. Now let's hop into the Discord. All right, my people, so this is the Discord. Growing still, very nice. I like the amount of engagement that we're getting throughout the week, especially while everybody is trading. I did add a couple new things, such as the back testing and trade ideas, and the crypto I'm still working on. I haven't added anything into this channel yet, but definitely got a lot planned for it. As you can see here, the back testing, this is where basically I'll be back testing and sending trade ideas, most likely after I've taken them. So I back tested on the 3rd, a long and a short, and I gave my explanation in here. And then I also back tested the trade that I took on Friday, because I made this on a Thursday. This is the trade idea I had on Friday. Make sure you go and check it out. This is going to be very beneficial to you as a beginner. Obviously you won't understand most of the information that I'm giving out, but you'll start to piece together the things with more and more that you pay attention to it, and the more that it's in your actual view. Like I said, amazing community so far. I couldn't be more proud of it, and everybody's having very good days. Honestly, on what was this, Friday? Yeah, yesterday Friday, a lot of people were having winning trades, and we basically took the same trade. Overall, this is definitely beneficial for anybody who is interested in trading and who is trying to support me. So if you join, I thank you so much. And if you guys would like to see anything in this trading Discord, please let me know. You can message in the Discord itself, just at me, or you can just hit me in the personal messages or direct messages. So yeah, let me know how everything goes. And this is the Discord. Make sure you join. The link is down in the description. All right, this is what the week looked like. As you can see, man, it was a crazy week, but we had a Tuesday high all the way down to the Tuesday low of the week, and we had SMTs on most of the days where the market did flip. So it was very interesting and very manipulative in the sense that it was NFP week, and this NFP I will never forget, not only because, you know, I didn't have a bad week or anything like that, but in the sense of how it moves. So Monday and Tuesday will probably be good days. Wednesday and Thursday will probably consolidate, and then Friday will be a good trade. So this is what we ended up having on the higher time frame. This is what ended up setting up, and we had news all the way up till Friday leading up to that NFP. The more experience that I gained, the more I'm like, damn, this shit is not simple. This is not easy. And I'm talking about trading in general. I'm actually doing very well in my trading journey. I was able to quit my job and everything like that to trade full time, so I'm obviously good at what I do. But I would think, or people, the normal everyday person would think that after, like I said, I have 10 months in the market actually trading my own personal money, they would think that by this time they would have everything figured out. But even then, I'm still learning. I've gone through so many NFPs and so many FOMCs and CPIs, PPI events, and I'm still learning to this very day, and I'm starting to get really good at it. But at the same time, there's still little things that that get in there and disrupt your ability to succeed, and not in a bad way, because if you're learning from those little mistakes, you just end up fixing them, and then you'll just end up making a lot of money. But at the same time, if you're not disciplined and self-aware, and most importantly disciplined to stay on top of all your rules, man, this thing could become a nightmare very quick. And I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm losing or anything like that, but I could see it. The most important thing, and I think number one priority in trading, will always be money management. I'm gonna bring in my drawings now, but this is what the week ended up looking like for me. I'm sorry if it's a little cramped or crowded, but I understand it perfectly. If you've been with me from the beginning, you've seen my charts from when I first started trading Forex, man. Crazy. But there's always like the little things that end up really getting you as a trader, and it's okay. You know, I am not the type of person who's ever gonna quit, because this has changed my life in the past 10 months. Obviously, it's really just a matter of who's strong enough to learn from the mistakes and keep going. Like, if you come in here, you make a little bit of money, and then you end up losing it all, that's all on you. You can't blame anybody else. Nobody's forcing you to hit that button, and nobody's forcing any type of ideas on you unless you yourself are letting it happen. So take those L's that you take and learn from them, man. Just be a man, honestly. Learn from every little mistake. Make sure you journal every little mistake. And what I've actually become very aware of is the amount of journaling and backtesting and chart time that I'm getting. Not as in like, you know, I'm trading all day, because I have a set schedule to trade from 9:30 open to 12, unless there's FOMC or something in the afternoon, which will have price consolidate early in the morning, and then the actual move is going to happen in the afternoon. I've been backtesting a lot and journaling, and I have 3 forms of journal, and that's something that I've noticed as well. So I have my actual physical journal right here. This is the most important thing and the best habit that I've ever built while trading in the past 10 months. And when I first started, I wasn't doing this. So if you're a beginner trader and you're already journaling, trust me, you're on the right path. I have 3 journals basically. This is my actual physical journal. This is the second one that I've run through. I already had another journal that I already filled up, and this one's already getting to like about halfway, or a little bit more past halfway. So I'm gonna need a new journal soon coming up anyways. But at the same time, I have the journal in my Discord, which is now this back testing, which I will back test the trade ideas that I have on the daily basis, and it will force me to, you know, see exactly what I am doing. And, you know, this is a different form of actual journaling, because this forces me to, you know, journal my actual price action. This, I try to journal more what mistakes I did and what I have to fix, and my emotional state while I'm trading, apart from, you know, doing this type of journaling. But the third form of journaling is obviously the YouTube series. I get to go back and look at my trades from the week, and I get to journal them. Like always, I go back on every trade throughout the week, and I get to see where I messed up on, what price was actually doing. And that's something that's very important. Sometimes I feel like I marry a bias, even though I know that's gonna happen, and it ends up happening about 95% of the time. But I don't pay attention to what the market is actually telling me right now in this very moment, and I focus too much on where the market is gonna go, that I don't see what the market is doing, and that ends up, you know, becoming a problem. But like I said, that in itself is just building up my chart time, and like I'm sure a lot of you already know, those 10,000 hours is something you need. And I don't know if I've gotten my 10,000 hours in the 10 months that I've been doing this, because I feel like I've gotten really dialed in the last about, I'll say 2 months. Probably like extremely dialed in from, you know, getting funded, and now on this personal account. It's definitely gonna get up there, and I think, you know, the more market cycles that I go through, the better I'm gonna end up being. But at the end of the day, we are here to see what price is gonna end up doing today. So let's see what this week looked like. As you can see, I delineate my weeks by the start of the week and then towards the end of the week, and as you can see, all this price action was the price action that we saw this week. So let's just hop into the trades specifically for the days. Let's hop into Monday first and foremost. So after looking at my journal and seeing what I ended up doing on Monday, it is very clear that I should have waited. You know, being patient is a big part of trading, and a lot of successful traders say that in trading it's better to focus on not trading than actually trading, or that profitable trading is more about not trading than trading. And what that means is being patient, and patience plays a big part in that. Honestly, I got into the market and I was way too impulsive on Monday. I was trying to go short, which I was correct in. The move today, that day, was short, but they obviously manipulated higher to take out buy side before even moving lower. And this is an actual execution that I did take, but I believe I closed a bit early if I'm not mistaken. Let's hop into the 1 minute time frame for this day real quick, just so I could see what I was doing, because I remember I was taking shorts so fast. I thought that we were gonna just go lower after taking out, you know, small forms of buy side liquidity and stuff like that. So I took a short here, then this big candle happened, then I took another short, I forget where, like maybe like around here, after taking out these highs. Price was never telling me we were gonna go short. I was just trying to anticipate price going lower before it even happened, even though I was bearish on the day. And obviously we had this move and ended up, you know, coming back up, and I think I was stopped out break even on this trade itself. This was an actual good trade. And the only problem was that we had Powell speaking in the afternoon, and as you can see, my target was hit to the T. I was targeting this sell side right here from last week. It was just about being patient on Monday, and I wasn't patient enough, and I was a little bit skeptical about trading in the morning just because I knew Powell was speaking in the afternoon. So I should have waited until Powell started speaking or seen this type of setup before really getting in there. And I'm sure, as you can see, we did come back up into OTE, and OTE is something that I've been using a lot recently, so make sure y'all pay attention to OTE and do your research. But we did come back up into OTE, getting very close to my entry, and would have stopped me out, and did stop me out at break even before we ended up moving lower. But I remember this day was just moving very weird, especially around this area. I should have known that it was just gonna end up chopping up, and that's what it did. Price ended up coming up, taking me out, and I was like, okay, I'm just done. But if I would have never moved my stop, never took these 2 trades over here, been patient, this could have been 1 trade in the day, and I would have lost less if I would have been stopped out on this day than I did with all the trades that I took over here. And that would have allowed me to trust this trade idea a lot more. Obviously, having Powell speaking, this was a risk in itself, having it come back up this high. But like I said, it came up for OTE and then just ended up dumping as soon as he started speaking. As you can see, towards the end of the day, ended up hitting that target, and I could have let it run. Honestly, I was just not patient enough on that Monday, but I knew it was just the beginning of the week. I can't be upset at it. It happens. It's gonna end up happening like that. Now let's move on to Tuesday. So Tuesday, very, very irritating for me because I didn't notice what was happening Tuesday until it was too late, and that is my fault. Nobody else's fault. That was my fault. I didn't see it correctly, but once I saw it, I then took this trade down here, and I ended up getting back the money that I lost up here because I was taking longs. I tried to take a long in this, got stopped. I think I took another long in there, maybe 2 longs if I'm not mistaken. And what I didn't do this week was follow my rule of money management. The past like 3 months, I've been on point with my money management, on point. And the amount of winning trades that I've had brought up that overconfidence, and I basically said, screw my money management, I want to scale. And scaling is a part of trading that I have to still figure out, obviously, but at the same time, I should never forget my money management. I take 1 trade with my full contract. Second trade, if I lose that first trade, size down. That is always a must because that will save me money in the long run, and capital preservation is always number 1 priority. And I have my girl actually working on my rules so I could place them up here. I still need to tell her to, you know, get them done, but I'm about to text her right now actually, make sure she gets them, just so I could have them right there and I could always remember, you know, money management and staying on top of my risk is number 1 priority. But we ended up coming up, right? We had an SMT with these highs with ES, so I'll show you that SMT right now, and I'm sure y'all could already see it. This high right here was the high that we ended up taking on ES but never took on NQ. As you can see, extreme SMT, so I knew we were gonna end up going lower, but I didn't pay attention to it. I thought that maybe that move lower was just this, but not this. And if I was paying attention to the higher time frame range, then I would have known. And once I fixed that, that's when I saw this down here and I was like, I have to get in now. But crazy short, and I have a very good entry opportunity right there at 9:30. 5-minute gap, came up into the 5-minute gap, tapped it, and then boom. That would have been a crazy trade, and I was targeting the weekly gap. I knew that I was going to touch that weekly gap. I could even targeted the equilibrium of that weekly gap or the CE, consequent encroachment of that weekly gap, but I was on the wrong side. I had the wrong range, and once I figured it out, I was like, oh shoot, we're going lower. So what I did to get into this trade right here, I think I have the execution. If I have the execution, I will play the execution, but this is what I did. We had news at 10, so I wanted to wait for 10 to end up opening before I even decide to get into this trade, because as you can see, there was really no real entry before that. I guess you had this here, but probably would have been stopped out by that 10 o'clock candle, knowing where I kind of would have put my stop, unless I would have had it up here above this high. But either way, at the same time, I had a very good entry. It was a 7R. I waited for the news candle. I saw the news candle, and I believe he had an SMT with ES on the news candle. So as soon as I saw this big candle print and then this one, and it was respecting the consequent encroachment of that 1-minute wick. I'll show you guys right here, so you can see that CE. As soon as I saw it respect CE of that 1-minute wick and then start to move down, I took a short there, placed my stop right at the CE of the wick, and then let it run, and that made me my money back from the losses I took up here. But like I said, I didn't size down on those losses. I went from two contracts, and I think I took just 2 trades there, and then this trade I took it with 2 contracts as well, and that's why I was able to get my money back. But at the same time, if I would have took it 2 contracts and then 1 contract there, this would have netted me a lot more in profit than what I did. So, you know, it's just annoying when you don't follow your own rules, but that's what I get. So that kind of got me my money back that I lost on Monday, I want to say, and on Tuesday. Oh no, not Monday, but Tuesday for sure. So I'm still in the week and a little bit of drawdown from that day. Then this day happened, and this day, man, it was annoying because I had a winning trade. I didn't take this long. This long was, I back tested it, and that's why I have it there, and I'm being transparent. I did not take this long. I took a short, and I have the execution if I'm not mistaken. I got in somewhere around here to get down to the short, which was just manipulation. We had an SMT up here, and then we dropped lower, but I thought we would end up either way. I was looking for this trade all week, and this was the trade that I wanted all week, and I wasn't patient enough to just wait for it. I wanted us to get up into this 4-hour gap, into equilibrium, and then dump. And as you can see, it gave that trade multiple times. As you can see, it gave it to me, you know, overnight session on Wednesday, gave it to me on Thursday and on Friday, but I'm gonna save those for those days. But either way, I took that short. As you can see, we manipulated higher into this 15-minute gap at 9:30 and then dumped. Then there was an SMT at this low. I have a protected SMT low here because of the analysis that I was doing. What was it here? This is the analysis I did on actually, I don't think I put this one on in this chat. I think I did that one on the main chat, if I'm not mistaken. I did do it on the main chat. Let me find it real quick. I was doing back testing myself. I thought I sent it in the group chat, but I guess I was doing just back testing on my own, and I remember taking that screenshot. So I don't know where I sent it. I might have sent it in a chat on my phone or something like that. But either way, that's why I have that protected low there, because it was important for the next day, which was yeah, that's when I did the analysis. But either way, right, we end up dropping, and I was up about almost $300 on that trade, and I think I have the execution for that too. But then I saw it come up and I didn't close. I just watched my whole trade come back up on me and take me out, and not even at break even. I didn't even move it to break even in time, so I had to watch it do that. But it was very clear, especially once we have an SMT like this, and we were targeting buy side. We had generated buy side, as you can see, with this high and this high, but at the same time, we also, this was in equilibrium. So I'll show you guys right now. As you can see right there, equilibrium of the range. So targeting equilibrium with an SMT at the low. Come on now, extremely clear. And I just hesitated on the long. I did take it short, but I hesitated on the long. As you can see, I'll show you guys the SMT. As you can see, I have the same low delineated here. ES took out that low, so you can see to the tick, and then NQ never touched it. So extreme SMT there, and then we ended up rising. And as soon as I saw that, I should have closed and then took a long, because while I was watching it, I don't know what I was expecting, especially I think I got in here, but I don't know what I was expecting, especially once we created this big wick, this long, this big candle. This should have told me, okay, that's it, my trade idea is invalid, and I should have got out of there while I still had profit. And I mean, I should have seen it once we, you know, SMT and then started to move up. But at the same time, very, very nice trade. As you see here, we had a good entry at 9:48. Could have had that entry and rolled it up, but then gave this entry as well. I don't know if I was on the higher time frame. Was that on the 5-minute? I'm not sure where this entry came from, but that is another entry, I guess, that you could have had that day. I should have seen it. I should have seen it very fast, very, very, very clear. I think I was just measuring to see what I could have done, but I think this was an entry somebody in the group chat took in my Discord. But this should have been what the original entry was. Maybe have the stop there and then start to move it up, or maybe even below consequent encroachment of that. But as you can see, we had very good price action on this day and smacked it, smoked it. Extremely good trade. As you can see, kind of dumped down here, and I think my cousin took this trade, which I should have been paying attention to. I should have definitely been paying attention to this, and like I said, didn't learn from my mistake. I just watched price after that. I'm not sure. I don't think I ever took another trade after that on Tuesday, but what is this, Tuesday? I want to say on Wednesday. But yeah, this is what price ended up doing. Let's move on to Thursday. Thursday was frustrating for me because I wasn't paying attention to the trade. I had a bias, which was the trade I was looking for all day. Was okay, we're gonna come up here and we're gonna take out that buy side liquidity, touch equilibrium, and then drop lower, touch that 4-hour gap and drop lower. And that's exactly what ended up happening. But I hesitated on that trade, which is annoying as hell. I definitely did hesitate on this trade, but this is the trade idea that I had, and I did this one for sure. I did put on the back testing As you can see, I back tested the long that led up to that short, and I have everything there. And I also back tested the short, as you can see. But the long or the short, either way, very good trading day. Not crazy amount of points movement wise, but it was definitely a good trading day. And yeah, this is what should have been seen. When I came into the market, we were below equilibrium. So one, why am I taking shorts while we are in a discount? I should be taking shorts in a premium, which was what happened when we got up here. So then I paid attention to what price actually did. I went on the 1 hour, and what did I see? I saw this big wick at the protected low because we had SMT at that low. That is the protected low. That's why I had that there. Protected low, SMT at that low. You could say this is a protected low as well, but I saw this as a protected low. We weren't gonna go below that low. And when we got into the market, we were already far away from that low. We had news at 9:30 or 8:30, if I'm not mistaken. We had news at 8:30. This was Thursday before NFP. We come down, we respect the CE of that wick. As you can see, that line right there is respecting. As you can see, the bodies are respecting the line. So that goes to show bullishness. And then if I go like this, from that low to the high, and we do this, what did it do? OTE, perfect OTE. Came down to the golden 70% and boomed. And what was the news doing at 8:30? The news was just manipulating higher to create this OTE. So they manipulated up just for the sole factor to bring it down. So this is manipulation like on its own to bring it down and then send it up towards that buy side and equilibrium of the range on the higher time frame. That is what I should have been looking for, and that's not the only thing. But like I said, right, we're going into the 1 minute now because price is fractal. So what did it do on Thursday? All right, as we open, we start moving higher, and then boom, dump, swoop, get down to 62 again, close to the 70, and then start moving higher. And then from there, perfect entry right here was a 5-minute entry that could have been taken, which would have been more conservative. This would have been more aggressive on that long. But what did I have it as in the Discord, if I'm not mistaken? Make sure y'all join the Discord. Yeah, the 1 minute was almost a 10R, as you can see here, and then the less aggressive entry on the 5 minute was a 5R, which is still good. So just back testing like this on days where we have price action like we had this week, amazing. I see it as a benefit in any capacity, but amazing long. And then we set up this short, which I also back tested on that day. This is the short idea. I was looking for this short all day, and I don't know why I didn't take it. I hesitated. My cousin was waiting for the short, and I think the reason why I didn't take this was because of the FOMO. The FOMO of, okay, this could be the only move for the day. Talking about the long could have been the only move. I didn't want to miss out on that move, and then I just end up entering some bad trades when I could just wait, just be patient. It's okay to lose out on that money if you know you're gonna make money in the long run waiting for your setup. So I had this trade idea. This is what I seen on the 15 minute, and this is what I seen on the 1 minute. Amazing trade. But let's see if I could explain it as best as I could. So on Thursday for the short, right, we come up, we take out that buy side with the initial buy movement, right? So we come up, we sweep buy side, go above equilibrium of the higher time frame range. You can see equilibrium is that red line. We go up above. So now we are in a premium. Take out that buy side. We have an SMT at that high. So you can see these highs, this high and this high. We have an SMT there. I'll show you the SMT. Thursday SMT, as you can see right here. And then on Friday we had this SMT. So we took out this high on NQ and ES, never took it out. So that tells me we're going lower. We then come back in and close like this on the 15 minute. We have this big long wick. That's a very meaty wick. Pause. End up having it come back inside the range. As soon as I saw that big wick on the 15 minute, I dropped to the 1 minute. And this is where I hesitated, but it made a lot of sense to why I should have taken this trade. So let me put this back up. All right, so what I do is I grab my fib from the top of the wick to the top of the body, so you can see there. Then I go grab CE, so you can see CE of that 15-minute wick. Then I see this. We create this big imbalance. I place a fair value gap, this big fair value gap, place a square in that, see where CE is of that square. We come up, respect the CE of the 15-minute wick. This is after the 15-minute already closed. We respect that. We respect the consequent encroachment of this 1 minute, and then I went like this. OTE, we come up to OTE and then drop off. When I tell you, I was so upset after I didn't take this, and I had my stop above consequent encroachment of the wick. Man, I seen this thing drop and I was like, fudge, I should have took it. And then it does this in the afternoon, comes back up, which is another OTE if I'm not mistaken. At the moment we had this high and this low, if I'm not mistaken. From that high to that low, come back up into OTE once again and drop off, hit target, which was the manipulation at 931 low, came even lower. But as you can see, this was the trade idea that I had, and if I would have took it and trusted myself, once again, this is the move that I would have caught, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, didn't catch it, hesitated. My cousin caught it, and that was the trade idea I was looking for all week, and it got me tight because, man, if I would have just, you know, not traded the long or tried to trade the long, even though I was bearish and I knew price is gonna come up into a premium to then drop off, I could have just waited. That's all I had to do, was just wait, and I would have won this day, but it didn't. But let's move on to Friday. Friday, I smoked this. Smoked it. Friday, I smoked this trade. I had an amazing trading day on Friday and rolled a clip. Just, that's all I'm gonna say. But this is what I seen. NFP Friday, big candles come all the way up here. I go on the 4 hour, see we hit a bearish order block, come up to the bearish order block, we come into OTE of the higher time frame range, as you can see, come into OTE. So then what do I see? I see us start to reject and come back within the range. Once I saw that, I noticed a 1 minute SMT, all right, as you can see here, and we had a 15-minute gap there as well. So I placed my fair value gap just to see where CE of that 15-minute gap was, because I wanted to see what price was gonna end up doing relative to that 15-minute gap. We had that 1 minute SMT, and that's all I needed. I sent this trade idea after I did as well. Like I said, I waited for until 9:30 to see what we were gonna do in terms of structure. Then I noticed a 15-minute SMT at the high, which was also a 1 minute SMT. The 1 minute confirmed it, but we entered OT on the higher time frame at a good time. Time is very important, so I targeted the low right below equilibrium, which was the 9:30 news low, and it was the 8:30 news low, because we did have news at 8:30, and I didn't see us dumping that deep, so I just took that piece of the pie. I was fine with it. That was the trade idea that I ended up having. We end up coming up. I had my stop first above here, and then I moved it down into this spot after we started to move lower, and I saw an SMT right here as well. So I was like, okay, we're good. That's why I draw that line there. I said we're not gonna go past above that line, set my stop above that line, because if it does come up above that, then my trade idea is invalid. What did it do? It just dumped straight to my target, and after that, you know, went a little bit lower, and I wish I would have left it run a little bit more, but I took my piece of the pie, and then I just ended up chopping for the rest of the day and then coming back up. So I'm happy that I took that trade, and that was the best trade that I had all week. Really perfect trade. But that's the week that I ended up having, man. I'm gonna save the amount that the account is at until probably next week. Let's see how the rest of the month ends up going, because the next few weeks should be very good price action. I honestly think October is gonna be very nice. At the same time, I wouldn't have lost what I did this week if I stayed on top of my money management rules, and money management is #1 priority. As you can see, patience, discipline, and money management is what I live for in trading. So that is what I have to stay on top of for the next week. But that's basically the end of this video. Thank you so much for staying this long. If you stayed this long, please let me know in the comments. Shout out to Ttronics.com for sponsoring this series. Shout out to Imperium Trading, my free trading Discord. Make sure y'all pull up and show some love, because there's a lot of very good traders in this chat, honestly. Like I said, they took that trade on Thursday, some on demo because their rules just say don't trade on Fridays, but some of them took it on their actual accounts. All I'm saying is that there's some very good traders in this chat, and this was before I sent my trade idea. I haven't started doing signals or anything like that, but let me know if you would like for me to start doing signals, or if you would like to learn from me as a student, one-on-one teachings and all that type of stuff. But thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I'll catch you in the next video. You definitely don't want to miss out. I hope you have a good week trading. As always, my name is Lewis. I'm just documenting my trading journey, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.